Cancer, and welcome to your mid-July updated reading. I'll be back by next month doing my weeklies, but for now, this is what we're doing. We're just having, very similar to the main July, we're just looking at the energies around you. You've got the card of flexibility for your additional guidance card, which tends to mean about keeping an open mind, keeping a flow almost going on here, Cancer. So don't be too rigid. I know you're not a rigid sign, that's not what your energy's about. So it's definitely asking you to keep an open mind and see what occurs. I'm going to have to pull you a few additional guidance cards. Now, what lies behind you is the Page of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So I think all the aces represent a gift. They don't always feel like a gift, okay? But the Ace of Swords is a gift of clarity. Sometimes it represents cutting through things or cutting through people, places and things to get down to the bare truth of a situation. The Page of Swords is about receiving messages, receiving news, and I can't quite see where this news is about, but there's definitely these cards about mental energy, activity and clarity that lies behind you. Now, what you most want is the Three of Discs. The Three of Discs is a card of working together. It's about pulling your energies together in a way. It's about cooperation, especially maybe in work, but even in your relationships, okay? But the Three of Discs is a card that I really, really like. And what you want is this more a sense of unity. It does come with the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is about receiving emotional messages and emotional offers. So this is also what you most want. So I think for some Cancers, there's this desire to move forward in a way which is emotionally engaging. This might be with a relationship, it might be around work, but there's definitely a desire for more pulling together, unity. That's the sort of what this card means. And the Knight of Cups is a victory card. It's about overcoming something, especially this night. He's had to do a little bit of a battle. And there's a sense of you wanting to come out on top. That you've won something, you've accomplished something and completed something. I think that's particularly going to be around work and your finances, because the World card just showed up there, which tends to be completion of a cycle. Some of you might be finishing a job, being promoted, starting a new business. Something is completing itself so a new project can begin. Now, you've got a really interesting protector card because you've got the Nine of Swords here. So it's almost a sense, Cancer, is there something or someone in your life that you're not quite trusting, that you feel a bit of anxiety around? Because it's almost saying trust the red flags here. Because when a difficult card shows up as your protector, it almost feels like an example. If it's a love situation, you not getting what you want is exactly the way the divine's looking after you, okay? It's definitely a card about being a little bit anxious, because there's healthy, it's about anxiety and fear, but there's healthy fear and there's unhealthy fear. So healthy fear is what gets us up in the morning. Unhealthy fear keeps us very, very limited, keeps us very stuck and in a very, very small emotional world. So for some reason, your sense of fear is acting on your behalf, Cancer. What's going against you is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups tends to represent a new emotional beginning, romantic possibilities. But this is going against you, and maybe that's what the anxiety is coming from. Because what you most want is this Knight of Cups. You want this cooperation, but the Page is your challenge, which means the dating, the flirting, the early stages of the relationship. Something's not quite working, okay? And listen, Cancer, you're not the only one, if that helps. In your relationship house, you have got the Death card. I'm going to clarify it. So for anyone who is going through a personal bereavement or loss, blessings, you know, I'm thinking of you, much love. It's clarified with the Sun card though. So what these two together is more about you coming out of a dark situation, Cancer. So talk about going through the dark night of the soul to come out into the new light of awareness around your relationships, which is maybe what that Ace of Swords means. There's new clarity coming, and as you release the past, you're moving into the sense of joy, new life, new growth. Some of you might be relocating, moving house to go and be with someone. Something's been left behind, and what you're moving forward to looks absolutely amazing, Cancer. But because the Page is the challenge, beginnings are a challenge for most people, okay? Beginnings and endings. And you've almost got both of them coming across in your relationship house. That doesn't mean to say that an established relationship is going to fall apart. It might be there's a change, but that change is leading you to the Sun card. So it's leading to a very, very good place, Cancer, okay? So don't fear change. In your money and work, you've got the World card, absolutely beautiful major arcana. It's the last major. It means a cycle has completed itself and you're moving forward to a new chapter, which is clarified with the Six of Swords. Exactly the same energy. Leaving something behind, going into the great unknown to explore new territory. Now with this card, I've got a few cards in the deck that I always believe the person's very, very protected when they turn up, and this is one of them. There's a feeling, Cancer, that there's something looking out for you, especially around your finances and work. I think some of you are going towards a new chapter because at a soul level, you've got the Ace of Discs. The Ace of Discs is about birthing something new. This could be a new business. It could be a new job. It could be a new relationship, a new house, something tangible that you can hold in your hands. And by the looks of it, Cancer, is taking up a lot of your energy. Whatever this new beginning is. Now your outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is a bit slow movement towards a goal, okay? He moves very, very slowly, this Knight, but very, very slowly, and actually so slow that some people actually think nothing's happening, but it is. It's the seed which grows into the Ten of Discs. The seed becomes the king. But this is at a night, which means there's news coming your way regarding work, finances, housing, because all the nights bring messages. And clarified it is a Ten of Cups, which is a happy conclusion to an emotional chapter. This Ten of Cups is about sharing yourself with others, especially your emotional self. This could be birthday celebrations, by the way, that sort of thing. And I've also looked at the Fool's here. He seems to want to make some sort of, he wants to turn up in this reading. So the Fool is a bit exciting new beginnings, by the way, always will be. He is that blank slate. So some Cancers are leaving some things behind. That could be in relationships as well as money. But it's the sun that you're moving to, and it's the world that you've got in your hands. And it almost feels the only thing that you have to fear is fear itself, which is the Nine of Swords. This is the what if card. And it can be a lot of anxiety, but change brings anxiety. I always say mind the gap, and there's a gap before the new becomes fully known. There's always a gap, and this is when the Nine of Swords tends to rear its ugly head, and we feel fearful and almost paralyzed with fear. But look at your reading, Cancer. There's a whole new beginning happening here, and it might involve having to leave people in the past, and it might involve having to leave certain parts of a relationship behind, but not the relationship, but move forward into this bright sun. And the Six of Swords is also that feeling of moving, completing something and moving towards a new chapter. And the Ace and the Ten of Cups. This is about birthing something new that's going to be not only financially but emotionally a very, very exciting chapter, which is exactly what the Fool says, Cancer. Okay? What an amazing reading. I think I can't remember who else, have had the most exciting readings of all. Really, really vibrant, dynamic, loads of change happening, and absolutely brilliant. Okay, Cancer, I'll speak to you later. Bye.